Morgan Rogers to Liverpool. Could it happen? We'll have a look. Of course, we'll have a look. Welcome back to the COP TV, the voice of football's most famous stand. I hope you're all doing well. A little bit of a transfer update for you. Whilst I've still got no concrete follow-ups really for Alexander Isak or Mark Gahey, we'll get into those little bits and bobs shortly. But it's Morgan Rogers who's been making the headlines. It was an Indy Kyler article in the last 25 minutes that has said that according to him, Liverpool are planning to approach Aston Villa for their forward Morgan Rogers and his signature should the dominoes fall into place with Harvey Elliott's departure. Now, as we know, it's a Friday. There is Saturday, Sunday, and Monday till 7 o'clock to get these transfers over the line. So time is ticking. It has got to that stage where we could be seeing some kind of transfer deadline madness. But this one's interesting. Smash that like button, get your comments in. Let me know how you feel about these links. Also, subscribe to the COP TV. Great time to be honest. We've got Cecil on the channel tomorrow. On Sunday, we're obviously at the game. Massive game at Anfield against Arsenal. And then on Monday, we're back with the pod. And then it's the international break. But just this hour, coming into us live, Indy Kyler, whose reputability, his validity, his sources have actually skyrocketed in popularity, in the last kind of this transfer window for sure. I mean, I've been following him since 2012, since I was at uni. I specifically remember following him, and he was always seen as a bit of a laugher, a bit of a joker. But today he puts this article out. Mad followers he's got nowadays. But he says Liverpool planning to approach an exciting superstar. You click onto the article, big picture of Harvey Elliott on it. So you think, right, let's have a little scroll, see what's going on here. And it says Liverpool planning to approach Aston Villa for Morgan Rogers' signature should the dominoes fall into place with Harvey Elliott's departure. Arne Slot has not been shy of splashing the cash this summer with Jeremy Frimpong, Milos Kerkez, Florian Wirtz, Hugo Ekitike all arriving at Liverpool over the last couple of months. But it does, I'm just going to scroll down to get to the exciting bit. It says that it is my understanding that while Liverpool want 50 million for the attacking midfielder, this is Harvey Elliott, by the way, they would accept 45 million. Liverpool have already discussed internally the potential of signing the six-time England international Morgan Rogers as a replacement for Harvey Elliott. RB Leipzig are pushing to sign Harvey Elliott before the window closes, with Slot making it clear that the 22-year-old attacking midfielder has sadly fallen down the pecking order at Anfield. On Morgan Rogers, I mean, the stats do not lie when it comes to this player who, was the PFA Young Player of the Year last season in the Premier League. And according to Indy Kyler, the interest has now been sent. They've sent several scouts, and back in April, it was Fabrizio Romano that said Liverpool have sent their scouts several times to watch Morgan Rogers play. A deal for Rogers, though, is seen complicated by LFC. And now it's got people excited, online. We're talking about Mark Gahey still, Alexander Isak and Rogers. If we get all of them, you've got to go and build Richard Hughes a statue outside. But the Red Men have tweeted about it, and everyone else seems to be as well. I can't see this one happening, to be honest, especially because Florian Wirtz has come in, especially because the wide players are pretty set at Liverpool at the minute. It looks like Mohamed Salah, it looks like Federico Chiesa, it looks like Rio, it looks like Gakpo. Obviously, Ekitike can play out on the left as well. He won't want to be a bench warmer, especially in a time where he is pushing, and he has just been announced in the latest England squad, but he'd be pushing only to get into that squad for the World Cup. But I guess if Harvey Elliott does leave, then there would be a space, wouldn't there, for another midfielder to come in. Just on Morgan Rogers, he made the most goal contributions, 30, in all competitions of any under 23 players from the Premier League last season. If Indy Kyler is right and Liverpool are interested in a last-minute move, it would be an incredible signing. Again, he's raised so many eyebrows last season, especially the Villa fans absolutely love him, don't they? But this move only, according to Indy Kyler, only happens if Harvey Elliott goes to RB Leipzig. So very bold of him to come out then and say, that this is the move for Liverpool. But again, back in April, it was Fabrizio who did say that the scouts had been sent to go and see him play. And this is, 2 weeks after winning the PFA Young Player of the Year award as well. So what is the next step in Morgan Rogers' career? Is it to stay at Aston Villa, or is it to come and play for the champions in the Champions League in Liverpool? But that would only happen, though, if Harvey Elliott left the club, which Liverpool have still been hesitant to allow him to leave, unless they do sign an attacker or they do bring in a massive fee for him. I mean, you've got to say, Harvey Elliott, in my opinion, is at least 50 mil. Two-time Premier League winner, 22 years old. And when you look at the prices of Dibbling, you look at the prices of Hutchinson, Ramsey this summer, Elliott's better than them. There's no doubt about that. Elliott is better than them. And if he does leave, I'll be gutted, because I think it was a beautiful move initially for him to come to Liverpool. I couldn't really say with authority that he's nailed down a place in that starting 11. I can't really say that. But what I can say is the bits that we have seen over the last 5 to 6 years now from Harvey Elliott have been incredible, right? Some of the moments that he's given us, you look at Crystal Palace away, as one in particular, the Spurs goal last year. I think the last Klopp season is probably where we saw him the absolute peak of his powers at Liverpool. So it's an interesting one. Where does this one end? Because Liverpool fans, do you want Morgan Rogers, or would you rather keep Harvey Elliott? And if you are selling Harvey Elliott for around about 50 mil, let us guarantee that Aston Villa will not be parting ways with Morgan Rogers for less than what, 60? I think they'd want at least that for sure if he was to come through the door. So Morgan Rogers, very interesting link today, literally in the last hour. As I scroll down my X page, people are saying, well, listen, can that be a possibility when you still got to get Isak through the door and Gahey? On Mark Gahey, by the way, there was a tweet as well in the last couple of hours that said Liverpool had actually agreed the deal now with Mark Gahey. But of course, we did see earlier today, Oliver Glasner, saying that he cannot afford for him to leave, Mark Gahey, especially when the window closes in 3 days. They are looking to bring in a centre-back, by the way, Crystal Palace. So I don't think that necessarily affects it. But obviously it would help Liverpool's cause, wouldn't it, if they do bring in a centre-back. And it looks like they've agreed now a deal with JD Cavno from Toulouse. JD Cavno, Canvot, from Toulouse. The paperwork is being exchanged now and the deal is confirmed, according to Fabrizio Romano. So is that Mark Gahey's replacement? Is it just another addition to strengthen Palace? Their position is very clear. Unless Liverpool offer over 35 million, then Mark Gahey will not be going anywhere. But Morgan Rogers, would you like him at Liverpool? Let us know in the chat. But of course, it depends on Harvey Elliott leaving. I feel like there's still so many twists and turns in this transfer window, which I think has been quite clear to say it's one of the most exciting transfer windows we've seen in a long time in terms of money spent, rumours. And we're sitting here on a Friday evening, and still Monday evening, we could still see 3 players coming in for Liverpool, but obviously a couple of players maybe there to leave as well. So Morgan Rogers, will he come to Anfield? Would you like him at Anfield? Is it realistic he could come to Anfield? I mean, if Harvey Elliott goes, there is a kind of attacking midfielder role available. But then could that be filled in by another player that Liverpool already have? Plus the fact that Liverpool are still desperate for a centre-back. Plus the Alexander Isak saga is definitely not going anywhere. We've just seen Walt Marder sign in as a Newcastle striker from Stuttgart. It's a record signing, I believe, for Newcastle. So that's a massive move for them. But how does that impact the future of Alex Isak? And once again, if there is Isak, if there is Gahey news, I'll have it for you here. But first of all, Morgan Rogers, I'm reacting to this news. Let us know what you think in the chat. And don't forget, guys, big announcement for all Reds around the world, especially in England and Ireland. Don't know about all around the world because you've obviously got to have broadcasting licenses. But if you can, wherever you are in the world, tune in to Sky Sports 1 tomorrow morning. I will be on the Saturday Social Show. I'm making my debut on the show, myself and Cecil, so looking forward to giving him a bit of rubbish about Arsenal. And obviously we play them on Sunday. So Reds, if you are, available if you are not hungover. Stick on 4:01 on your Sky box tomorrow and you can see myself on Sky Sports Saturday Social. So looking forward to that. And I'm sure we're speaking about all of this and more. But let us know in the chat if you'd like Morgan Rogers. Do you think it's realistic? Get your comments in down below and subscribe to the Cop TV, the voice of football's most famous stand. Take care.